or outside live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content.
Thanks for watching Luntha News with me, Fales Jizombe. First, the headlines. Pope Francis praises Sega's Wakers for spreading joy and beauty. Chakwera stresses the importance of problem-solving skills in addressing challenges facing the country. CISEC urges government to implement EduTech policies to transform Malawi's education sector. And in other news, nationwide protests erupt in Nigeria over economic hardships and soaring inflation. We have these and plus many other stories. Please do stay with us. Pope Francis met with circus workers and their families at the Vatican's Paul VI Hall on August 1st, 2024. He expressed gratitude for the joy and beauty they bring to people's lives through their performances. We have a Vatican News report read by Brian Advanza.
Pope Francis acknowledged the dedication and hard work needed to be a circus performer, noting that their profession demands great discipline, sacrifice and skill. He also highlighted the role of circus workers in fostering community and bringing people together, adding that they create a sense of community and shared wonder. Expressing his appreciation, the Pope thanked them for the joy and beauty they bring, especially to children. He also recognized the industry's struggles, including the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Encouraging them to continue their work, he said their talents should always bring joy and beauty. During the meeting, Pope Francis also blessed the circus workers and their families, seeking God's protection and guidance for them.
President Lazarus Chakwera has emphasized the importance of applying problem-solving skills and actively participating in finding solutions to the challenges facing the nation. Speaking at the first session of the 26th Congregation graduation of Mzuzu University, Chakwera has advised the graduating students to demonstrate the skills and knowledge they have acquired after completing their studies at the university. Charity Chilanga filed this report.
In his address, Chakwera urged the graduates to use their education to contribute positively to the country's development and overcome current issues. He noted that the world does not need graduates who only make noise, but those who use acquired skills and knowledge across various platforms to bring a positive difference in their working environments.
Be ready to show the world and your country what you can understand. This is especially important because we now live in a digitized world in which everyone has a platform to spread their ignorance about many subjects. And it is you who are educated who must stand out and set yourself apart by using every platform you have to share expert knowledge and understanding.
In his remarks, Vice-Chancellor Professor Singeni said the university has specifically incorporated entrepreneurship education in their curriculum so that the graduates do not just rely on formal employment, but can use skills to employ themselves. Speaking earlier, Chairperson from Zuzu University Council Howard Lowe disclosed that the university is linking up with organizations and industries to provide professional gaps so that their programs are tailored to meet industrial needs. The 26th congregation has been split into 2 days, where 668 out of 2,652 graduates have received their academic papers on the first day. During the ceremony, President Jawera has given 350,000 kwacha to PhD graduates and 200,000 kwacha to students who have graduated with distinction. Upon his arrival, Jawera, who is the Chancellor of the university, was shown designs of some upcoming infrastructure development projects being funded by the government, World Bank, and through the public-private partnership arrangements.
Deputy Minister of Health Halima Daud has called for collective efforts in closing all gaps and promoting, protecting and supporting breastfeeding so as to safeguard the lives of our children in Malawi. She made the remarks earlier today when she presided over the official national launch of the 2024 World Breastfeeding Week at Dinkuzu Community Ground in Salima. The minister stressed that it is important for everyone to create a conducive environment for our women to meet the recommended breastfeeding practices for the sake of the children to grow to their fullest potential and have a good start in life. Tandwin Zumara has more details in this report.
Daudi noted the reduction of some breastfeeding indicators such as exclusive breastfeeding from 71% in 2010 to 61% in 2016, saying this shows how crucial it is for Malawi to consider closing all gaps and support breastfeeding on all platforms. She has urged for a supportive environment for breastfeeding mothers, highlighting that breastfeeding protects babies against both short-term and long-term illnesses, including obesity in later life.
As government, we're so excited because whatever is happening with our partners is complementing government's efforts. So here they're doing very well in this area, and it's not this area only, but the whole country. They're doing very well in breastfeeding programs.
Dr. Charity Shandaziwa, Chief of Nutrition at UNICEF Malawi, noted that one of the challenges we have as a country in terms of nutrition is lack of diversified diets, as statistics show that we are at less than 10%, with only 1 in every 10 children accessing a balanced diet, thereby calling for support. She went on to encourage that such interventions be spearheaded in every district to ensure that no child is left behind.
So when children after 6 months, yes, they will continue breastfeeding, but they need to be eating other foods as well. So the challenge is the diets are not diversified, especially the animal source foods. Children are eating very, very low, like the percentage is well below 10%. So,
meanwhile, Salima Central Member of Parliament Gerald Kapiseni Piri has pledged to lobby for policies that will ensure a safe environment for exclusive breastfeeding.
I've not taken much of our time to look into issues of how we can treat babies, especially on issues of breastfeeding. I feel this is the high time now. We needed to populate this message wherever we are going. We are meeting our people and even changing some policies regarding how we can champion breastfeeding.
World Breastfeeding Week, observed from 1st to the 7th of August, aims to raise awareness on the essential role of breastfeeding in child development and survival. This year's theme, Closing the Gap, Breastfeeding Support for All, underscores the importance of providing support to all breastfeeding mothers. For Luntha News, this is Tandwin Zumara.
The Higher Education Student Loan and Grants Board has announced that 26 students from the Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences (MOBUS) will receive grants in recognition of their outstanding performance, having passed with distinctions at the end of their first year. The board's communication manager, Amili Kasunda, stated that the grants are intended to support students who have shown academic excellency and have the potential to contribute to Malawi's development. We have more in this report.
Kasunda emphasized that the first round of the grant is focusing on areas of study that aligns with Malawi's development priorities, including mining, engineering, agriculture, Haiti, and education. She noted that these areas were selected through a consultative process involving the Nation Planning Commission and the Ministry of Education. Kasunda further explained that the grant will cover tuition fees, upkeep allowance, and other related expenses.
Only be tenable at second year. And when one in third year, they lose their distinction status or they fail to sustain that level of passing in their academic studies, then they will fall out from the grant. If they were on the loans, it means they will go back to the loans, and if they were paying by themselves, they go back to paying themselves. So a grant, as it is, they will not pay it back. It is amount of money that will cover their tuition as well as upkeep expenses.
The Higher Education Students' Loan and Grant Board received submission from both Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences, Mombasa, and Mzuzu University, Nzuni. However, only students from Mombasa met the criteria for the grants. This awarding of grants represents a significant milestone for the board, marking the start of a new initiative to support the exemption students in their academic pursuit. By offering financial assistance to talented students, the board aims to promote a culture of academic excellency and contribute to the development of Malawi human capital. The board, which is mandated by the law to provide grants to students enrolled in programs at accredited higher education institution, has awarded these grants to students with outstanding academic performance in their respective field of study at the public university in the country. For Luntha News, this is Emmanuel Jiwocha.
You are watching news on Luntha television. We'll be back with more after this break.
Are you passing through Desert Town and you think of finding a place to rest or just to have some nice food? Always keep this name in your mind. Comfort Lodge. Situated in Airfield at Desert Town. Here at Comfort Lodge, we offer comfortable, affordable, and quality accommodation. The place is located at a very quiet environment that gives you a comfortable and peaceful sleep. We also offer local food such as madimba, masambote ndela, chisoso, ndindo zina za lokolo zambiri. Talking of entertainment, that's not an issue as we have a DSTV for your favorite channels. Tight security, electricity and water backups are all in place just for you dear customers. During this time of COVID-19, we have all measures in place just for your safety. Oh yes, come and taste a different feel of life here at Comfort Lodge in the town. Comfort Lodge. Comfort Lodge, your number one place for affordable and quality accommodation.
Welcome back. If you have just tuned in, you're watching news on Luntha television, coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center. Before we proceed, let's have another look at the headlines. Pope Francis praises Segas Vegas for spreading joy and beauty. Chakwera stresses the importance of problem-solving skills in addressing challenges facing the country. CSEC urges government to implement edutech policies to transform Malawi's education sector. And in other news, nationwide protests erupt in Nigeria over economic hardships and soaring inflation. Moving forward, the Civil Society Education Coalition CSEC chairperson Dr. Alimbani Msapata has urged the government to begin implementing policies in education and technology to transform Malawi's education sector. He made these comments on Wednesday in Lilongwe during the Education Technology Policy Dialogue meeting, which concentrated on the government's ongoing efforts to develop crucial education and technology policies. We have more in this report by Bridget Manoka.
Says that while Malawi has robust policies capable of enhancing the education system, they are currently undervalued. He emphasizes the need for the government to bolster the education system by assuring adequate resources and a sufficient number of teachers in primary and secondary schools to deliver quality education in the country.
We are happy as a civil society that at least the government has developed policies to support edutech, because the policies provide a guide for stakeholders like civil society, government and others to be able to invest in edutech and promote quality education in the country. So we do have these policies, but what is crucial is the implementation of the policies. And this has been a challenge in this country, that we have good policies on the ground, but implementation is inadequate.
Professor Chomola Mikeka, the Director of Science, Technology and Innovation in the Ministry of Education, states that they are dedicated to leveraging science, technology and innovation to advance education. Professor Mikeka further stated that government has plans to provide electricity to all schools in Malawi, which is a critical component of these efforts.
EduTech has its fundamentals. The first one is to make sure that the schools, have electricity, electrification of schools. In Malawi, we have 8,728 schools. 6,954 are primary schools. Out of those ones, in terms of electrification, 66% have no electricity. In terms of secondary schools, we have 1,774 secondary schools, and 18% do not have electricity. The effort through these policies, through government budget provision or treasury, but also our partners and all those who can be innovative enough, is to ensure that we cover the gap of 18% in the secondary schools, but also 34% in the primary schools, to ensure that all schools are first and foremost electrified.
Additionally, the initiative includes measures to ensure that teachers are adequately trained in using edutech tools to enhance the learning experience. Bridget Mwanoka, for Luntha News.
In Machinga ADD, soil loss remains at 29 metric tons, affecting food production. The Chief Agriculture Officer at the ADD, Aranik Liu, made the revelations in Balaka District, where the Balaka District Agriculture Office has launched a catchment conservation management program for 2024. According to Kaliwo, their goal is to reduce the problem to at least 14 metric tons. Rashida Matandika reports.
Most of the activities that were displayed during the event focused on how the land should be protected and maintained to prevent soil loss and retain water. Kaliwo said they are encouraging farmers to use not just any modern farming techniques, but the ones that have an impact in conserving soil and water, following the challenges that farmers are facing, which alternate from low to high rainfalls. He said they are still working hard to reduce soil erosion to get it to at least 14 metric tons.
Right now, we're not there, but we're improving. As of now, we are about at 29 metric tons of soil that is lost every year to the lakes. But we are trying so that maybe by next year we should maybe coming to maybe 14, but not more than that.
Presiding over the event, chairperson of the Balaka District Council, Pharaoh Kambiri, said they are complementing the Agriculture Office in conserving the environment through the use of bylaws against those that destroy the environment deliberately.
Pali njira zina zimene zinayikidwa kale Balaka muno ngati timati mabylaws amenewa alipo koma mwina chimene chingangokhala ndi kulimbikitsa kuti madera onse a boma lino la Balaka tiyambe kuwagwiritsa ntchito chifukwa choti nthawi zina lamulo kulika osaligwiritsa ntchito limaoneka lopanda ntchito kwenikweni.
The launch was funded by Adaptation Fund Project and Massive Project in collaboration with district agriculture stakeholders such as Find Your Feed and others. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Balaka.
And in other news, Nigerians have taken to the streets to protest the country's economic hardships, highlighted by an annual inflation rate of 34.19% and rising food prices. The protests, which began on Wednesday, have drawn thousands of demonstrators in major cities such as Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. We have a BBC Africa News report led by Brainerd Manza.
Protesters are demanding immediate government action to address the cost of living crisis, high unemployment and poverty. They also call for free education at all levels, along with improved healthcare and infrastructure. The protests were triggered by recent increases in the prices of essential goods and services, including fuel, electricity and food. Many Nigerians are struggling financially, and these protests reflect their frustration and anger. Despite the challenges, the demonstrations have been largely peaceful, featuring singing, dancing and placards. However, there have been reports of clashes between protesters and security forces in some areas, leading to injuries and arrests. The government has responded by pledging to tackle the economic issues. President Bola Tinubu has announced measures aimed at reducing the cost of living and improving the economy. However, many Nigerians remain skeptical and insist on concrete actions rather than promises, indicating that protests will likely continue until tangible results are seen. The protests have underscored Nigeria's deepening economic crisis, exacerbated by corruption, mismanagement, and a decline in oil prices. Despite being Africa's largest economy, Nigeria has struggled to translate its wealth into widespread prosperity. As the protests persist, concerns grow about the potential impact on the country's stability and security. Security forces have been deployed to maintain order, but the situation remains volatile. For now, the protesters remain resolute, determined to push for change and a better life for themselves and their families.
That's about what we had time for in this edition of the news. Before we leave you, another look at the headlines. Pope Francis praises Sagas Vegas for spreading joy and beauty. Chakwera stresses the importance of problem-solving skills in addressing challenges facing the country. CISEC urges government to implement EduTech policies to transform Malawi's education sector. And in other news, nationwide protests erupt in Nigeria over economic hardships and soaring inflation. My name is Vales Chizombe. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.